Today I have an extraordinary and extra special guest today. It's Kim Hewitt. Now, Kim and I have known each other for a number of years, and he's definitely one of the most inspirational people I've ever met. Kim has an incredible background, and nowadays he's a fitness coach and a fitness trainer and has his own business at Living Strength. But we're going to hear a lot more about Kim and his incredible story today throughout the show. So, Kim, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit now to the viewers?
Yeah, hi, Michele, and hello, everybody else. Yeah, I run a fitness company called Living Strength. I mainly work under the Harbour Bridge. I've been doing fitness for 15 years, and it's a passion of mine. I mean, I can't go anywhere without looking at people and trying to analyse their health. It's just something I love doing.
That's fabulous. And what do you think has helped you to be so fascinated with people and their health, Kim?
There is so much false information out there that people feed off. Like on my YouTube channel, if I wanted to get 1 million views, all I have to do is put in weight loss or belly fat, and I'll get 1 million views. But in not one of those videos that the people use that title, they mention anything about nutrition.
So with this focus on nutrition for you and you know, people's health and well-being, what do you think it is then in your life today that success means? What does success to you mean today?
Success means, yes, the first thing is health. It's health. The next thing is happiness. And I learnt this many years ago, this little trick from a friend. My story goes way back, and we'll talk about that later. But this friend of mine that coached me, she said, every time you see a puppy dog, get excited. And I got excited every time I seen a dog. And then it just brought in happiness, and it changed my whole outlook on life. So happiness is a big thing. And just around the corner from you, there's a dog park, which I train at. So it's
fabulous. So you get to see dogs.
I've trained you there. Have I trained you there in the cemetery in West Street?
You did back in the days when I was still playing soccer, and it was pre-season, and I remember we were out there and you were training me. It's a little while ago now to think of the days when I used to play soccer, but I loved it. And yes, I remember training there and seeing all the fabulous dogs in that dog park.
And that made me happy. And the third thing, what I think is success is when I get to see that I change people's lives. You know, I get to see people come like the lady I trained last night. She came to me and she was 25 kilos overweight. Now she'd be right on weight. And that is success to me, seeing my clients get what they want.
That's fabulous. And I hear so much of how you have this incredible giving element. And I know that from knowing you for a long time now, that you are there very much for others, and especially in their health and fitness journey. So I know that in some of the promotional stuff that I put out for today and some of the things I know the viewers would really love to hear more about. So as we go through what you think are the tips that you have for a successful mindset, do you want to share with people some of your own journey and some of your own background to how you came to be who you are now and within that, what that mindset was that you had for success?
Oh, yes, I would. My story's just, it's a long story, but it's phenomenal story. I was an international engineer, and I mean international. I was working on projects all over the world. I was the leading guy. I came back to Australia and I fell off a building in Chatswood. 6 months in hospital. I got out of hospital and then I got run over by a car. I ended up getting golden staph and staying in hospital, in and out for 4 years. I lost everything and become homeless. So within 4 years, I was a millionaire to living on the streets in Sydney. I went through the men's refuges, and I was down at Matthew Talbot. And one day a lady came in and she said to me, she looked at me and she said, "You're not the type of bloke that should live here." And it drove this passion to get out of there, to have, as you say, a mindful success. And I just decided on that day that that was it. I went through more homeless institutes for about 2.5 years, got qualified as a fitness instructor. 3 years later, bought my own place from working 7 days a week. 2 years after that, well, no, not 2 years, I think it was almost. Then the next project was get a wife. So I wrote out a little list of all the things I wanted in a wife, searched all the gyms on the North Shore, found a wife. 8 weeks later, we went to Hawaii and got married. That's pretty much my past, but I've had, since then, I've ran this fitness business, and I haven't had to advertise. Like you asked me about LinkedIn and a website. I had all those, but I never used them because basically I don't lose clients. I've had all my clients 12 to 15 years. So I've never had to advertise, you know.
And what a story, Kim. I mean, an incredible journey from, you know, being a millionaire engineer, losing it all, coming back after that one conversation that, you know, you've got something in you. What do you think in all of that, and even, you know, choosing to then find a wife and choosing to have a business and more recently choosing to do all the travel that you're doing and share that on YouTube? What do you think are the keys for you of what you did in your mindset? How did you train your mind or use your mind to make those kinds of deliberate choices?
I think the key type of success you're talking about, are you?
Yeah, for a successful mindset.
I think you've got to enjoy life. You know, like I enjoy life. I love it. And then you've got to have a passion. If you do something, you must have a passion. Everything I do, I go into 100%. Like the girls in one of my aqua classes said, "Oh, come and do public speaking." And I joined the Toastmasters group, and the next thing you know, I won all the local areas, and I was representing the eastern suburbs of Sydney, talking. I do pottery. I love doing pottery, but I'm into it 100%. You've got to have a passion. My travels, as you mentioned, you know, I have two YouTube channels, one called Kim Hewitt, which is about travel, and the other one's Living Strength, which is about health and fitness. Because my passion's about travel and making videos, I make more videos about travel. I don't get a great deal of views because I'm competing against a big market. My health and fitness videos get hundreds, thousands of views but I'm not, the passion isn't there. So you must have passion at whatever you do.
And it's interesting because you mentioned at the beginning about how success, and when we were talking about that, is about helping others with their weight and with their different health and fitness and nutrition goals. But I can also hear that in recent years and moving now into the travel videos, that this passion of yours in that area is also about sharing that vision with people.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. Look, I mean, I always want to help people. I constantly, when I see people that struggle picking things up, their flexibility's bad, their health's waning. And I know I could give them a 2-minute exercise to perform every morning, and their flexibility would be fantastic for the rest of their life.
And I really hear you about how, you could have more success if you went against, in a sense, your integrity, and on your videos said, do this and your stomach will be flat within 2 days and you'll lose 100 kilos within 3 days, etc. But your integrity won't allow you to do that. You're actually much more concerned about long-term and sustainable tools that people can use to shift. And having gone through the experiences that you've described, where it took a number of years to kind of go down that rabbit hole and then a number of years to come out of the rabbit hole, nothing that you're doing or sharing with people from your background is anything but to support them in actually building long-term sustainable change.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I studied many years in nutrition, many years, but nobody listens. I mean, there is only there's only one weight loss program that works. And that is me moving into your place and taking over the fridge. That works.
Have you done that for any clients, Kim?
They're all scared.
Well, I can imagine it might be a little bit scary to allow you to take control, but I can definitely attest that after working with you many years ago, that what you shared with me about nutrition being the key to weight loss definitely stuck with me. And whenever I've been exercising, I've noticed that the volume of food or the types of food influences my weight loss far more than the amount of exercise or the type of exercise.
You know what I really like, Michelle? I'm 65 now, right?
Wow.
And I get up on stage and teach, 23 fitness classes a week. Most of my friends couldn't even do one at my age. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful that I eat healthy, and I'm grateful that I do daily exercise.
And do you think that this is definitely one of the mindset tricks or things that you've set up for your long-term success through to when you're 100, 120?
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. I've really noticed with the coronavirus and the lockdown how I'm not as strong, and I'm not as fit as I was before the virus because of the lockdown. And I started to feel that, 3-4 months ago when it started to lift, I noticed that a lot. And I thought, I've got this real fear about aging. So I thought I've got to get back into it. And the key is consistency. The key to success is consistency. As an engineer, when I was an engineer, I only wanted to be the best engineer. There was no other goal. There was, I'd work longer, I'd work harder, I'd have more passion about doing what I was doing. It's the same with fitness. And now it's converted to longevity. We have to have that flexibility, like a lot of the classes I teach, a lot of ladies can't touch their toes. They can't, simple things like that. I look and I go, well, and it scares me.
I know that a number of my friends have talked about the incidental walking and the incidental exercise that we lost for a long period of time there with being housebound or less mobile because of COVID and less active outside of the home or the local environment. And that's so true. I was in Barangaroo over the weekend and I went walking with somebody for about 2 hours, and it was interesting just to even be out and about somewhere different for that amount of time walking. And I was thinking back to, pre-COVID, when we'd be walking all over the city and doing all sorts of things all the time. And now it was such a different mindset for being out and about.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%, Fortunately, because of this lovely thing we've got now called Zoom, I've been teaching 2 to 3 classes from my lounge room every day. And I've done that right through COVID. I've actually now started, I'm only teaching 1 every day from the lounge room, and I've gone back to teaching in the gyms.
So what do you think for you has been the reaction of your clients with that in-person contact versus, because the exercises and the training may have been very similar, whether it was online or in person, but what's been the change for you when people have seen you in person again?
The change for me or the change for them?
For them, I think.
For them. Well, one of the key things to be successful in any form of business, in my business or any business, is to be a good listener. And I listen to all my clients. I listen to all their stories, and I take a real note of people. Like you mention a boat. I went out on the boat on the weekend. Immediately, they're starting to think about their boat story, and they don't listen to what you're about to say. So I always give them time. I'm interested in what their story is. And that's the big element in personal training and having personal clients. You listen to them, you have compassion. Then you make them work hard.
Yes, working very hard. Do you think that way back in your days and your time as an engineer, right the way through to now, has storytelling, because I know you're a big communicator, so has storytelling been something that you think you've always been quite gifted at?
Oh, I've always been a storyteller. Always. It's something I like to do. And I've always been very adventurous. Like, right from the time I think I was about 22, and I said to me, I might have been 25. And I said to me, Mum, you should retire. And she didn't want to retire. So I said to her, if you retire, I'll take you around the world.
Wow.
Now, I didn't have any money in those days, so I took my mum around the world backpacking.
Wow.
And we went all the way through Asia with backpacks, tracked through the Golden Triangle. So yeah, I've got a lot of stories to tell.
And I hear again that, that theme and that thread through some of those difficult days, and now with being a business owner and the stories about your mum or your relationships or your work. that courage to essentially do things that people might not necessarily, other people might not necessarily do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of people would have given up. I mean, as a successful engineer and having, like, I could go and buy a car, cash, never had a problem with it. Then I lost everything. And it's just that not giving up, just turning up, doing it again, turning up, doing it again is what drives you, and it makes you successful. It makes you want to turn up.
And I guess, you know, it's in no way kind of relative, but for some people, when coronavirus started and their world shifted, they may have lost their work, they may have this, they may have that. They may have felt like, you know, things had ended, their life had ended as they knew it, and it required in them to also just start again and to turn up and start again and to turn up. So that's where I think stories like yours are so inspirational, Kim, because you have shown time and again throughout life that you'll turn up and you'll show up and you'll turn up and you'll show up.
Yeah, it's, the coronavirus has been, I think it's been really good for everybody. You know, we've had to, a lot of us have never suffered. And we need to have that little bit of, that area where we suffer a little bit. So we have to turn around and look at what we got and look where we're going. When we first started coming back to work, I had a lot of people trying to pinch my work off me. You know, a lot of instructors, oh, we need more money, we need more money, we need more money. And they were just trying to grab all the work. Well, now that's all turned around for them. It's too much work. And now they're fatiguing. And now I'm getting all these phone calls. I'm working too much. So it's been a very interesting learning curve.
A very interesting journey, it sounds like. And I'm also interested in this home stretch now to hear a little bit about the interesting journey. You mentioned that you made a list because you wanted to go out and find a wife. And for many people, relationships can be a little bit difficult as well. So do you want to talk about how you were successful in that area of life as well?
Oh, yeah, you've got to have a list. You've got to have a list. I mean, because I teach fitness, I couldn't have a wife that drank alcohol or smoked cigarettes. So they're the first two questions, you know. I had to have because I'd lost everything, I had to have somebody with financial security. Didn't want them wealthy, but they had to be financial secure. I've met many people that owe a lot of money. It's hard to talk about this. My wife's in the next room.
She's on the show next week to talk about you. Just kidding.
Okay. So, all those little things, and I wanted a woman that didn't already have a family, so we could form our own family. You know, the problem is if when you're searching for a partner, if you're coming into a relationship that's already established, you may not fit in with the rest of the established organisation, and when you leave, you may have a passion for some of the people in that group, and you're not part of it anymore. So had to have no drink, no smoke, no children, financially secure.
And what do you think it was? So that's the list element, but what do you think it was in terms of your mind? What do you think you were putting out there that in terms of the qualities of a person that you were wanting to attract?
The quality of the person. Yeah, well, I wanted to attract a person who had a similar mindset to me, that enjoyed going to the gym, that enjoyed being healthy, that enjoyed traveling, you know, had to have a lot of things in common. Like to start with, our real first weekend away together was in Hawaii.
Wow.
You know, I said, "You want to go away?" And she said, yeah, all right. Where are we going? I said, the big island of Hawaii. You know? So she had a passion for travel.
Yeah. So I hear throughout the threads, you know, whether it's a wife or a partner, but surrounding yourself with somebody with similar interests and from building those foundations of where you were, building your business and then building a life on top of the business as well. I really hear that having that clarity and having that mindset so that you clearly wrote out or put out there what it was you were looking for. And as you were describing the business then as well, you know, holding on and being clear, well, this is the business, the clients that I want to keep as we're coming out of COVID now. And all throughout these different themes as you're talking, I hear the passion and the humour and the elements of your personality coming through in that, which have really shown that inner resilience to keep going and like you've said, to keep getting up and keep building from where you're at each day and each moment with the people around you, the opportunities around you. And as we spoke, I remember during COVID, you were also grateful for when you had less clients and had more time for the opportunities you had then. So looking at everything, whatever is happening around you, as an opportunity and a positive.
Oh, yeah. Like when COVID first hit, I'm so grateful to you that started up your Michelle Friday night conversation group, because it gave me the opportunity to talk to other ladies that lived in the local area that I didn't know, but it was good to mix.
Yeah, the workshops that I was running back then around the mindful moments with Michelle, there were many little workshops to help people with the skills to get through and the resilience to get through COVID, with different tips and tricks for helping to build those different elements of resilience. And so I'm glad that you were a part of that and you enjoyed that. We're coming now towards the end of the show, and I know that there's people listening and they may even themselves or they know others that have gone through, I guess, quite difficult circumstances and situations in their own lives. So how would they be able to reach out to you, Kim? How can they connect after today?
Well, they can either get in contact with me on Facebook, or they can watch one of my YouTube channels and just put a note at the bottom of it and I'll get in contact with them. Like it's Kim Hewitt. Kim Hewitt, just my name, and I think it's a working man's guide to travel.
Yeah, that's the name of one of your YouTube channels, is the Working Man's Guide to Travel.
And the other one is Living Strength, a Way of Life. So if they watch any of those videos, all they need to do is put a note on the bottom and I'll get in contact with them, or Facebook.
So I think that's very true, either through some of these different mediums that you'll be watching the show on today, or definitely through Facebook. Kim, and Hewitt is spelled Hewitt, and Kim is Kim. So thank you so much for being my guest today on the show today, Kim. It's been a real pleasure having you here.
It's been fantastic.
Wonderful. It's been my real honour and thank you. I think of you as a very special guest. Not many people have had quite as interesting or challenging is probably another word, histories and backgrounds, and I really appreciate your time today and your passion sharing it with us today on this show.
Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. And so we come to the end of today's show for this week, and I really want to thank you, the viewer, as well. It is really a passion of mine not to just talk to people with necessarily easy and simple and straightforward topics. So I hope you've really enjoyed today's discussion with Kim. And next week, we change tune again, and we talk to the amazing Dale Reese-Bevans. But until then, I once again want to wholeheartedly say to you all, until then, be great, be fabulous, and be you.